Welcome back to Inside Politics. Our guest today is Tennessee Congressman John Rose. Congressman, there's an interesting book out this week, a memoir by the former House Speaker John Boehner, who was in Washington before you were. One of his assertions in the book is that the current Republican Party is so different it wouldn't today nominate or elect former Republican President and GOP icon Ronald Reagan to be president. Do you agree? Is Ronald Reagan no longer, is he passé now in the Republican Party?
I don't agree. And, you know, I reflect back, I'm old enough, Pat, unfortunately old enough to remember the Reagan years and the Reagan Revolution, so-called. And I haven't had a chance to read Speaker Boehner's book, but I remember well what the so-called Reagan Democrats that were in many cases blue-collar workers who recognized the logic of the policies that Ronald Reagan was implementing. And I think Ronald Reagan did a lot to expand the Republican Party. I think President Trump, in his own way, transformed the Republican Party by returning us in some ways to those policies of the Reagan years, a clear, powerful, strong foreign policy, clear border policies, clear tax incentives for energizing the American economy. And so I see the expansion of the Republican Party as a good thing, involving working Americans, blue-collar Americans, making the Republican Party the party of working blue-collar Americans, I think is a good thing, and we should embrace that. But your party leadership appears to be divided. Former President Trump, I think this week, called the leader of the Republicans in the U.S. Senate, Cold Stone. I can't look at the exact words, but he also used a phrase I can't use on television to describe him. The party seems to be divided. Which side are you on? Are you seeking President Trump's endorsement for your re-election? He seems to be already given out for 2022. I am not seeking his endorsement. I hope to get the votes of the people of the 6th District and represent their values here in Washington. You know, there's lots of rhetoric in politics. Certainly the former president, President Trump, was known for his colorful comments and statements and continues to be so, to pursue that. That's not my style. But, you know, we have to remember that the 45th president was one of frankly, in my lifetime, one of the most effective presidents that we had in terms of making certain promises to the American people about what he would do and then fulfilling those promises. So reviving the American economy. We have to remember that last February 2020, we had the strongest economy in my lifetime, the lowest unemployment rate in my lifetime, the lowest unemployment rate on record for minorities and youth, and one of the lowest unemployment rates on record for women. And a vibrant economy. COVID, unfortunately, came along and knocked us off our game a little. But I think the policies that President Trump put in place were very effective. He got the border situation under control, and we were headed toward a long-term solution there, which should include enforcing our laws. A lot of times people think that, well, we don't have immigration laws, but we do have laws, and those laws should be enforced. And frankly, it's when we fail to enforce them that we see the problems like we're seeing now with the crisis at the southern border. The phrase I couldn't think of was he called Mr. McConnell, Speaker McConnell, a cold stone loser. But you also have problems with members in the House. You've got both Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's been quite controversial while she's been up there trying to adjourn the House a lot. She's been stripped of her committee assignments. And now you've got Matt Gaetz, who is facing Justice Department probe over sex trafficking. Also, the House Ethics Committee is looking into his situation. Should they resign? What do you think about the situation for those two particular members of Congress? Well, I think it's unfortunate what was done by the House to Marjorie Taylor Greene. The people of Georgia elected her to her position, and they're the ones that should make the decision about who they send to represent them. Certainly, she disavowed some of the accusations that have been made against her about various conspiracy theories and the like. But I think we have a system of federalism where states choose who to send, districts, voters choose who to send to Washington to represent them. And I think when the Congress overrides the wishes of those voters, it has a degrading effect on our republic and on the institutions of democracy that we have. You mentioned Representative Gaetz. Some serious allegations have been made, but we have a presumption of innocence in this country. And so I think we should let that investigation play out. the House has historic policies that if an indictment were to be issued against him, then he would be asked to step down from his committees or removed from his committee assignments while pending the outcome of those criminal investigations if that were to occur. But I think it's a little bit early to be thinking about that. And so we should be careful and measured in how we respond to those things. You know, the House is made up of 435 members from all across the country. It's a reflection of the country. So you're going to have, from time to time, folks who make missteps and have to be, have to be dealt with. But we have institutions in this
Congressman,
country
we're just about to run out of time, Congressman. Very briefly, very narrow in the House now. The Republicans won more seats than they thought they would. Now we've had some other changes among the Democrats. It's down to just 2 votes difference now from the Republicans. Do you think the Republicans might actually wind up taking over Congress before this session's even over?
I think it's a possibility. It's probably a narrow possibility, but of course it depends on what happens with any retirements, unexpected retirements, or unfortunate deaths or departures from the House. So it is a possibility. I think it's a very real possibility that the Republicans take control of the House in 2022.
Congressman, thank you so much for being with us, and good luck to you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it, and it's a pleasure to represent the people of the 6th District of Tennessee.
That's Inside Politics for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you'll be back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, go to NewsChannel for our website. You'll find my Capitol View commentary there. There's new commentary posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you here next time. Goodbye.